Donald Trump gave a speech before the Israeli-American Council, and he said some anti-Semitic things. Let's watch.
A lot of you are in the real estate business because I know you very well. You're brutal killers, not nice people at all, but you have to vote for them. You have no choice. You're not going to vote for Pocahontas, I can tell you that. You're not going to vote for the wealth tax. Yeah, let's take 100% of your wealth away. No, even if you don't like me, some of you don't. Some of you I don't like at all, actually. And you're going to be my biggest supporters because you'll be out of business in about 15 minutes if they get it.
Man, that Sudafed trip is hitting him hard in that video.
No, look, God, that frustrates me so much.
Wow.
That had like 17 anti-Semitic tropes in like 17 seconds. So you guys are killers. He doesn't mean that literally, but he means it from a business sense. But why would Jewish folks be any more killers in the business context than Catholics or Irish people or Asians or etc.? It's because of stereotypes that you have in your head. Like, oh, Jews are good with money. It's so obvious. So obvious. And then if it wasn't obvious enough, he then goes around, oh, wealth tax, you guys don't want that, right? Because Jews have money, right? Like, are you kidding me? It's so brazen, it's so over the top. So you guys have no choice. Now, let's turn to the facts. Historically, Jewish Americans vote for Democrats at about a 75% clip. They're the second most, like loyal it's a funny kind of word to use in this context. Voting base for Democrats. African Americans are number one, Jewish Americans are number two, okay? Even more so than Latinos or any other group. So he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Jews vote for Democrats all the time. And in fact, now, Republican support among Jewish Americans has dipped to an all-time low of 17%. Why? Because the Republican president is an obvious anti-Semite, right? Among all the other things. And by the way, this is what I love about America and different groups sticking together. So Jewish Americans have been wonderful, especially the groups like J Street, Anti-Defamation League, so many others in this era in sticking up for Muslims and Latinos and for everyone else, right? And of course, unfortunately, there's been nonstop anti-Semitic attacks also under Trump. But these tropes are totally out of control, and he's done it over and over again. We were pretty much the only show that kept emphasizing when he first did it in the campaign. Yeah. He went to go talk to Republican Jewish leaders, and he says, no room likes to negotiate more than you guys. Why? Why are you saying that? And then he went on to say, no room likes to renegotiate more than this room. Oh, come on!
Look, all that goes through my mind when because you're right, he's done this so many different times, but all that goes through my mind, especially when watching that video, is Representative Omar, right? Ilhan Omar, and how aggressively both Donald Trump and the rest of the Republican Party attacked her and made her out to be this terrible anti-Semitic person because she didn't use the exact words that they wanted when she was referring to, like I think she unwittingly used a trope. It's all about the Benjamins because she was talking about corruption.
No, I don't even grant that. She was specifically referring to lobbyists.
Yes.
And it is all about the Benjamins, about lobbyists, all lobbyists. It wasn't about Jews. Meanwhile, Trump goes to a bunch of Jewish Americans and he's like, oh, you guys like money, so you're never gonna vote for Pocahontas, right? You have no choice. You gotta vote for me because I'm the greedy one. Oh my God, you're the worst.
But it's amazing because like even in that, I mean, he just says like, some of you don't like me and I don't like you either. Like,
yeah, what is that? That's insane. Could you imagine if
why does he get away with everything? Why? No one else gets away with this kind of stuff. No one. It drives me crazy.
Can you imagine if Ilhan Omar went to a group of Jewish leaders and was like, some of you don't like me, I don't like you either. People's heads would explode, right? But literally anyone else that did that would be in massive trouble because they should be. What a weird, terrible thing to say. But Trump says all these outrageous things, but he's flooded the zone with so much hate and bigotry.
Yeah.
But by the way, but one thing you should not lose track of is, so he quote unquote gets away with it because he's still president and it's very hard to remove a president. We're in the middle of impeachment for other things. You can't remove him for being a bigot, that you just can't, right? But remember, he's in a sense not getting away with it. He is really unpopular And look, with Jewish Americans, he's not at all getting away with it. 83% of them apparently do have quite a choice because they don't like him at all, and they're gonna vote against him.
So I want to give you some statements from Jewish American leaders on this whole speech situation. So a representative from the Jewish Democratic Council said, Trump is the biggest threat to American Jews.
Yes.
Let me give you more. This is the executive director for Jewish Democratic Council. We strongly denounce these vile and bigoted remarks in which the president once again used anti-Semitic stereotypes to characterize Jews as driven by money and insufficiently loyal to Israel. And then she continues to say, he even had the audacity to suggest that Jews had no choice but to support him and that we should get people out of our country in order to increase support for Israel. And then later she says, like, I got news for you. We certainly have a choice, you're not it.
Yeah, and so let me give you the quotes that Trump said about Israel. He said, we have to get people of our country, of this country, to love Israel more. Okay, so far, a weird statement, but nothing offensive about that. And then he followed up with saying, we have to get them to love Israel more because you have people that are Jewish people, that are great people, they don't love Israel enough. Who are you to tell Jewish Americans that they don't love Israel enough? Preposterous. And by the way, why does he even care about Israel? Because his biggest base of voters are evangelical white Christians, okay? Now, Jewish Americans vote for Democrat and more often, as we've talked about, and are far more likely to be progressive, and are more likely to actually have it be even-handed on the issue of Israel. Not universally, but far more than white evangelical voters as a bloc. And there's a very good logic behind that. If you love Israel, you should want to live in peace, and the only way we're gonna get to that is a two-state solution. So logically, a lot of Jewish Americans, Muslim Americans, etc., decent people come to that same conclusion. Now, on the other hand, why do evangelical voters care so much? They go, oh, my Judeo-Christian heritage, blah, blah, blah. I was talking to a rabbi back in the 2016 election. I interviewed him on the Young Turks. He said, that Judeo-Christian thing is a recent political gimmick.
Yeah.
I don't remember any Judeo-Christian heritage back in the 1930s and 40s, right? Exactly, yeah. Let alone the rest of history. So why do they do that gimmick? Is it because all of a sudden they found a newfound love for Jews in the world? No, you look at the David Dukes, you look at all the different right-wingers, at the end of all of their conspiracy theories, the Jews are on the world, we gotta go get them, right? So the reason they care about it is because they want Armageddon to happen. And in their crazy, end time scenarios, they think that, the way that Jesus comes back is they get Israel and they expand Israel, they destroy the mosque, and then World War III starts, almost everybody dies, yes! Okay, and then Jesus comes back and by the way, kills all the Jews except 144,000 of them. And so to say that those folks that are in that specific camp are not really friends of Israel or the Jewish people is the biggest understatement in world history. In fact, they're actually looking forward to your destruction. And so the reality is that the overwhelming number of Jews in America totally know and understand that. But if you look at television though, and you look at the Donald Trumps of the world, you would be deceived into thinking, oh no, most Jews are neocons, they love wars in the Middle East, etc. It's not remotely true. But that is what you get a lot of times on cable news and with this monster Donald Trump. So know the reality. The last person on earth that speaks for Jews is Donald Trump. A guy who said about Charlottesville, there are very good people on both sides. One of the sides was the Nazi side. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.